what are we going to be talking about tonight?
Tonight we're discussing light and suffering, specifically finding joy.
Finding joy in suffering. Your back's against the wall, you have pain, you're in a really rough place.
Yes.
How do you find the joy in that?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's could sound like an outrageous request. It's very hard to tell somebody who's suffering to be happy when they're suffering, let alone, like
find the joy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But there's something very beautiful that the Alter Rebbe discusses in the Tanya. There's a very beautiful piece of wisdom the Alter Rebbe discusses in the Tanya regarding suffering, finding light and joy within suffering. And the Alter Rebbe brings down a quote in the Tehillim. I believe it's Kuf Yutet.
Okay.
David HaMelech says, "Ashrei hagever asher te'asrenu yud hei." Joyful is the person to whom God gives suffering to.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about this quote is that we notice that Hashem's name that is brought down is Yud Hey. So it's
as opposed
to the full name Yud Hey Vav K.
And the Torah is very specific.
Yes.
There's no one letter too much, no one letter too little. So this is very purposely done. Okay.
It's very purposely done, and Chassidut explains that Hashem's name Yud K Vav K parallels the four worlds: Atzilut, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiyah.
Okay.
4 letters parallel 4 worlds, and the first 2 worlds are called Alma Det Kasya, the hidden worlds, and the second pair of worlds are called Alma Det Gaya, the revealed worlds.
Okay.
From this quote, Ashrei hagever asher te'asrenu yud hei, we can learn that suffering is actually rooted in the essence, the Alma Det Kasya, the hidden worlds of Hashem, the essence of Hashem.
So suffering comes from the 2 closest worlds to God.
Yeah.
Wow.
God's essence.
That's a powerful place.
It really is. It really is. When you understand that, it's actually quite interesting, because the Alter Rebbe continues to explain the four characters that are called beloved by God, and this is brought down in the Gemara. The Gemara describes the criteria to be considered beloved by God.
Okay.
And the first criteria is those who are embarrassed and do not embarrass. The second criteria is those who hear rebuke but do not respond.
Mm-hmm.
The third criteria is for those who do mitzvot and good deeds out of joy, out of genuine good joy. And the fourth and final criteria is for those who rejoice in their suffering.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, interject over here, but I heard a story.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Yom Kippur.
Mm-hmm.
That if you get rebuked by someone and you do nothing, it's a massive, massive merit for you on Yom Kippur. Especially on Yom Kippur. Yeah. And there was a rabbi, and he was like, okay, this is a massive merit. I want to get rebuked. And he said he knew a guy that whenever someone walked past, he would rebuke that person. He would scream at them, insult them, all that. So he took the route to go to shul specifically to walk past this man. Mm-hmm. And he walks past him, and the man says nothing to him. And, the rabbi's being very clever. It was like a gray area to get this merit when Yom Kippur. But the fact is, you can't manufacture this. It has to be legit. But the point over here is that it's such a high level. When someone rebukes you and you do nothing, that's really a big level. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So the other aspect of this set of criteria for who is considered beloved by God, it says in the Gemara that for them, during the times of Mashiach, Hashem will reveal the essence of the sun, the heat of the sun. That's really interesting. It's really interesting to think about, why would Hashem show the heat of the sun, right? It actually connects to our Parashat HaShavua, which is Parashat Va'era, where it describes Avraham Avinu, who leaves his tent 3 days after being circumcised at 99 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He sits outside his tent waiting for guests. And it says in the Torah, and as you mentioned before, there is no extra letter, no extra detail, insignificant detail in the Torah.
Specific.
Very precise and very specific. It says that Avraham Avinu sat outside his tent, and it was a hot day. Kechom hayom. Kechom hayom. Chassidut comes down to explain that Kechom hayom actually speaks about the essence of the sun. Now, the sun has two parts. And the sun actually corresponds to two of Hashem's main names, Yud Kei Vav Kei and Elokim. Yud Kei Vav Kei is the name of Hashem that represents Chesed, abundant Chesed, which can also be destructive if not given context and if not done with boundaries. And Elokim is the name of Teva, which gives the structure, gives the form for the Chesed to be able to be properly absorbed. So the essence, the nucleus of the sun, is taught to be Yud Kei Vav Kei, and the outer layer of the sun is taught to be Elokim, which is the boundaries that we need, that also protects us. So when it says that Avraham Avinu sat outside his tent, and it was a hot day, essentially we learn that Hashem removed the outer layer of the sun to reveal to him the essence of the sun, the love, the abundant love for doing what it was that he was doing, waiting to receive guests.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, talking about Avraham Avinu, very interesting. The Medrash says that he was 99, he got circumcised, and he was recovering. And it says that God, the divine presence, came to visit Avram. And then he sees three men walking, and he goes to them, leaves the divine presence, goes to them to bring them in. Now, to him, these are ordinary men. We know they were angels, which, how can Avram leave the divine presence and go to meet human beings, to meet mortals? And the Medrash says in that, it did it kechom hayom, like you're saying, in the heat of the sun. Now, we know that this sun, not covered, creations cannot exist. But God uncovered it because he wanted Avram to stay in his tent and recover.
Wow.
From he's 99, got circumcised, God wanted him to recover. But Avram was such a being of chesed that he was frustrated. It actually pained him to not have guests, to not do chesed, to not do kindness. So God sent three angels, which he thought were regular mortals, and he ran out to greet them. The reason why he was able to leave the divine presence that was in his tent to go meet these people was because it's such a big mitzvah many times to ben adam lechaver, between one person and another person, as opposed to just between you and God. So it's higher. The divine presence that was in his tent was actually higher when he was meeting these people and bringing them in. And it says that the sun itself was such a fiery, powerful intensity, but after he did the circumcision, that fire and intensity gave more fire and intensity to chesed, to kindness, which was Avram's essence.
Right.
And
meaning it was more digestible.
It was more it went from a way of like being an intense fire, which, like you said, if it's not controlled, it could get out of hand, to being controlled into like to give kindness.
Wow.
It says Avram sat by the door of his tent. Why does it have to mention that? And the Midrashim say that at the door of his tent, he was in between two worlds. He was the conduit from in his tent, which was divine presence, to bring in that chesed, to bring that divine light into the regular world. And this is like the two worlds you mentioned. It's the higher world and the lower world. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe explains, this is an example for the Messianic era. And at times of Mashiach, our generation right now is the generation before Mashiach. It's the generation, we are the border generation. We're the generation that we're right on the border of the last generation of earthly, worldly, material life, and the times of Mashiach. And Avram Avinu, Kachom Hayom, the heat of the sun, is actually a conduit to send in more godliness into this world. And we see it today with intelligence, with the brilliant minds out there, with how fast the world is moving, how forward we're going. This is the ability to bring all the godliness into the world and to bring Mashiach. So
wow.
this whole parasha, Avram Avinu walking away from God to meet people, sitting in the door of his tent, all this is correlated to the times of Mashiach.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
That's pretty powerful. So now that we understand this comes from God, pain is powerful, very close to God, how do we rejoice? How do we renew after this pain?
Right. I think the first step in general, when someone really is truly suffering, I think what we often try to do is we try to find reason. We try to make sense of why we suffer, or we just completely dissociate and we kind of detach. And I think coming back, slowing down, coming back to our bodies and remembering there is no bypassing grief.
Right.
There's no such thing as bypassing grief. That's step number one, I would say. Really understanding that. I'd say following that, you recall that your suffering does come from God's most innermost love.
Closest place to God.
The closest place to God. And when you're able to realize that the suffering does in fact come from his essence, you can also then associate your own life with coming from God, meaning it's for God. Our lives are not for us.
We're living for a higher purpose.
We're living for a higher purpose. And therefore, I believe this, just slowing down and like contemplating these concepts can really help shift the lens from simple like victimhood to truthful grief, and then trust in the process.
Yeah, I will tell you.
Yeah.
So I just got up from Cynic Shiva, and for my father, whose name was Avram as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is all pretty powerful. And I'll tell you, my personality would have been to just get back to work the next day, focus, hustle, like not think about anything and just be distracted.
Yeah.
And you have to Shiva, and Cynic Shiva taught me a lot. It really made me understand that there is a process, and you do have to trust God.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this is all for the best, even though in a physical and emotional way it doesn't seem so. Yeah. But it really is all for the best, and it's all at the right time, the right place, and I think the Torah, not just in this concept, is really a guidebook to life. That's all the Torah is. That's a fact. Yeah. And there's a reason why you have Shiva sitting. There's a reason why you have the Shloshim. There's a reason why you have a year. You're not allowed to do this, etc., etc. Because this pain comes from the highest, like you said, the closeness to God, the closest world to God. And it translates into something good. It has to. Yeah. And
ultimately,
during the Shiva, the joy, during the Shiva, what I saw from the community, how like people really had my back. People really came together. I really did see that from the community. It's amazing how people went out their way, how people made sure I was okay, whatever they could do for me. Yeah. And we had 2 girls over there that are going to start lighting Shabbat candles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're getting a lot of candles. This is to my father, and we're going to give them out to everyone. And there's a lot of good things going to be happening in his memory.
Wow.
But it kind of went from the process that you're talking about, from the process of pain, accepting it, trusting it, and then to having this power, this renewed energy. Now there's a power that I can tell people, can you please do this for my father? There's a power, there's a renewed energy, and it does bring joy into the world. And this is the same thing with Avram Avinu and everything talking about that. We got to take this power that comes from God and bring it into this everyday world.
Yes, the light, That's so beautiful. And I think another detail that's very important, I would say when we're suffering, we often undermine and underestimate the power of prayer. I think we often think like, well, God knows what's in my heart. Why do I need to pray to him? And especially when you're grieving, when you're in pain, and when you're suffering. And one thing my grandfather, may Hashem bless his soul, has taught me was that when I'm angry, he would tell me, Chanale, when you're angry, when you're upset, you talk to Tati. You talk to Hashem as if he's your father. Yeah. He wants to hear your pain. He wants to hear your rage. And I think coming back to that it's very grounding. It's very grounding. It's very much rooted in truth.
It's very real.
Yeah.
What book would you suggest for people to, What helped you through something like this?
It's a tough one to answer. I'd say the Tanya, and I'd say learning the Tanya specifically, not just reading it, because it is very deep. Yeah, very layered, very deep. There are many translations out there in English.
I have Chaim Miller's Tanya there. It's the guy is so academic, so educated. It's really deep.
Yeah.
Definitely worth read. Okay, so the Tanya is the book of the week.
Yes, I'd say the Tanya.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So leave some comments. Put your 2 cents in. Let us know what you want us to talk about, and let us know. You bounce off this subject with us. Tell us your feelings. Tell us how you go through pain, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.